Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing? All right. Well, my name is Lisa Marie Grantham, and I am the founder of GoddessLifestylePlan.com, where I teach spiritual women how to create a life and business they love with a little sprinkle of magic. Everything I do has a sprinkle of magic in it. So I hope this day finds you well. We are at the end of April. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. It is just crazy. Hey, Kelly Lee, how are you? Nice to see you here live. I wanted to talk to you today about a topic. It's a funny little topic, really, because they kind of are the same thing, but they're not. And I'm talking about habitual versus ritual. So habits versus ritual, and my thoughts on that, because I think it's a very important conversation to have. Our life is really built up, our days are built up from habit after habit, things that we've learned to do or kind of gotten used to doing in a way, in a way we do them. But not all habits are very healthy for you. Not all habits are serving you in moving you towards your dreams and goals and desires. So that's, I think, for me, when I think about habits versus ritual and why living magically and very spiritually connected is, for me, a much more powerful way to show up. In the past, before I really got deeply into this work, where I did a lot of healing over the last, 10 years or so, most of what I did was default. And I talk a lot about living life by default and why I think it's such a shame to not mindfully and intentionally create your life in the vision you want it to be, not to intentionally and mindfully create your day after day, in the way, in the vision you want it to look like. How do you want to feel? What do you want your day to look like? And it started me thinking about this word ritual. I mean, I don't want to go off on a tangent, pontificate and then go off on a tangent about it, but it's kind of like one of those triggery words, ritual. Could it mean evil? Is this a bad thing? Ritual to me is just something that's done um, repeatedly with intention. So literally, your morning cup of coffee, sipping it, could be a morning ritual for you. Usually, though, ritual has a multitude of steps in it, where habits are usually like a singular thing you're doing. So rituals, it could be a self-care ritual, your beauty ritual, your nighttime ritual, your morning ritual. It's the things you do in a certain step or methodology over and over. Rituals can encompass a multitude or multiple habits within the ritual, but it follows this system. So if you look at it that way, rituals are much more intentional, in my opinion. And it is so important to live each day in the present moment, right? We learn a lot about it. We hear a lot about it, how it's so good to be in the present moment, because the present moment is the only thing we really have. We don't have the past. We don't have the future yet. It's off. It's not here. Here is where everything is important. Here is where our focus needs to be. And what I've learned and discovered with working with women for so many years is that most women give away their power because they leave parts of themselves in the past via regret or guilt, or any low vibration that way. Something we can't get that back, right? What happened in the past. And then women leave parts of themselves in the future. They future trip. So it's via worry, like the what ifs, like the worst case scenario what ifs, right? And when you look at that, women are leaving their parts of themselves, their presence in the past, and they're leaving their presence in the future. So really, we're a diluted version of who we really can be when we're in our full power. When we're in our presence, we bring our presence to each and every moment of the day. Again, it is very much so, I think, We're all a work in progress, right? And we sometimes are much better at being present, but then all of a sudden those default patterns and behaviors, those habits come in where it kind of swoops us off and it takes us off of our game of being really present and mindful in the moment. So I thought today it would be really fun to talk about rituals versus habit and why I love the word ritual. Ritual just sounds meatier to me. It sounds more meaningful. There's just a lot of oomph behind it as opposed to a habit. I'm sure there are good habits, like if you brush your teeth after you eat, that's a really good habit. I can't say that that would be a ritual. Or if you drink a big glass of water every morning as soon as you get up, that's a really great, helpful habit. But if you look at most habits that we currently do in our own lives, they're usually not bringing us closer to what it is we desire. So I would love to know if you're hearing me, seeing me, throw me some hearts. If you love what I'm saying and it's resonating with you, it's hard for me sometimes to see who's here. And I want to make sure that, that I'm getting through to you and you hear me and see me. Okay. This whole entire producer thing on Facebook kind of throws me off. So that's where I'm at right now. So throw me a bone and let me know you can hear me. So I have a few notes here when I was kind of getting together my thoughts for this transmission. And I really wanted to say that a ritual has an attitude or a mindfulness or an intention behind the practice or the actions. And habits is basically something, they're very singular focused. You do it on autopilot without even kind of realizing you're doing them. And I think it's very important as women who are stepping into their full power, stepping into all that they're meant to be, right? For me, being a present day goddess is about really saying, am I embodying the most healthy and powerful version of me possible? That's a goddess to me, a present day goddess, a woman who is always on the green grass edges of growing into who she's meant to be, right? Because this Lisa is not the Lisa that I was. And it's probably, I hope, not going to be the Lisa I'm going to be a year from now or 6 months from now. I'm continuously, mindfully working on me. And that entails me taking a look at my daily doings, my habits. I want you to now, we're coming off of this very strange time. Hello, Isabella. Hello, Annette. Thanks for letting me know you're here and you can hear and see me. We're coming off of this strange time, right? This pandemic where we've had this, shelter in place kind of thing going on. Besides that, let's just call a spade a spade. It's been very stressful. So whether you were an essential personnel or whether you were kind of, I hate to say the word lockdown. That's not what we were. We were sheltering in place for the good of the planet. That's what we were doing for the good of each other. We were sheltering in place. And that's the way I choose to look at it. But like we've probably accumulated some bad habits. I'm going to raise my hand here first. Has anybody else accumulated some maybe not so great habits? And what I mean by not a good habit is whatever that habit is bringing you closer or farther away from your goal. So if your goal is to, I don't know, I'm going to just think about a common goal, get healthier, exercise more, lose weight. Like, are the things you're doing and the things you began doing since this whole shelter in place thing kicked in, are those habits bringing you closer to that goal or farther away? Hi, Marissa. Nice to see you. So it's very interesting and I'm going to invite you over the next couple of days, right? May 1st is Beltane. Beltane is really the start of the summer for us earth spirited moon lovers and stuff. We love the Wheel of the Year, and the great Wheel of the Year turns again on May 1st, and it's Beltane. And Beltane is when things get cooking. They just get cooking. It's like it's the beginning of the growing season. If you look at your life symbolically, metaphorically, this is the time we're going for it, right? We came out of our sleepy slumber of the winter, then we got hit with this pandemic, and everything got turned upside down. So we've developed potentially some not so great habits over this last 1 to 2 months. So I'm going to invite you right now, before we kind of, the wheel of the year turns and we're deeply into summer or growing season, when we should be really going after what it is we want to create or do or be or have in 2020, and really think about, like, what habits are serving that desire or goal, and what habits do I need to pull the rein in on. I mean, I'm not one of those, some things just have to end immediately, right? We have to cold turkey things because they're really just out of alignment with what we want to create, be, do, or have. And then we have to just call ourselves out on our own bullshit. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Sometimes we do shit that's not at all good for us. It could be drinking too much, right? People are kind of sheltering in place. They might be hitting the booze a little too much. They might be eating stuff they normally don't eat, because a lot of times when we're feeling discontent, especially women, because we're much more holistic than men. Men, the masculine is very compartmentalized, but the feminine is more holistic. So when we're feeling unhappy in this area, whether it's love or relationships or money, we tend to kind of try to soothe ourselves with other things. It could be shopping, online shopping. It could be drinking too much, eating too much, all those things to kind of make ourselves feel better about what's going on. I mean, we do, it's really in our wiring to be like that. Hi, Michelle, how are you? So I just really wanted to take the time during this transmission, really talk about the difference between ritual and habit, habitual and ritualistic, and really knowing the difference, that there's a slight distinction there, where rituals to me are intentional, multi-step. And like I mentioned at the very beginning of this transmission, it's like, self-care ritual, beauty ritual, morning ritual, evening ritual, a ritual where, again, when I'm leading circle and facilitating circle, I have a way I do that, a methodology, a ritual to how I lead circle. So all of these things are beautiful. It could be the way that you cut plants outside. There's rituals for that, even where you should be cutting your plants or flowers at a certain time of day, which is better for them. These are all beautiful rituals. But then we have these horrible little nasty habits that, that could be thrown in there, that could be really blowing you off of your path to creating what it is you desire to create, whether it's in life or business. So you want to definitely take a look at that. So I invite you to do that. Take a look at the habits you've developed. Where do you got to pull in those reins? Where do you just got to cut it off at the knees? Like, no, you got to go. Because I know we all have a few of them. We've developed them, right? And then in its place, let's just start putting in more habits and rituals that support the life that you desire to experience. And what does that look like? So how that looks like for me, I really want to give you my methodology. It's always this way for me. Let's just say I get a download, like I really want that, or I want to experience that, or I want to, be, do, or have that. Let's just call it that way. The first thing I do is, well, how would I think? How would I behave? What habits would I have in place if I were to have that? If I was actually experiencing that right now. So what that might look like is, for me, I'm like, okay, I want to bring my business to the next level. So I would sit down and say, exactly what is the next level, get very clear on what that number is, the next level, and then I'd reverse engineer it. In order for me to be hitting this number in my business, these are the things that I'd have to be doing. These are the things I'd have to be thinking. These are the things I'd have to be, believing. And then as soon as I start behaving, believing, and taking action from that place, I call it in. Choom. And manifestation works that way. So that's why I think this piece is so important for your lives, ladies. You want to take a look at the habitual part of your life, the habits you have, and then the rituals you're putting in, and noticing the difference, and anything that doesn't serve the vision that you have for yourself. And that, to me, when you're future visioning, that's not future tripping. Future tripping is usually when it's like doom and gloom and the what ifs, that it could be the worst thing ever. I'm talking about future visioning into what you want to be, do, have, or experience in your life, and then get congruent with the qualities that need to be in place. And then take a look. Do my current habits and rituals and daily doings, thoughts, beliefs, actions, words, support that. All right. So I hope this served you, and it was really nice. I got a little sidetracked today. We had we had a worker, somebody come to the house to look at something that threw me off, so I was a little late in going live today. But thanks for joining me. I hope this helped, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on rituals versus habitual, and if you got any ahas or distinctions from this transmission. Also, I wanted to say that very shortly, my inner circle group, my monthly coaching group, the Goddess Lifestyle Sisterhood, will be opening its doors for enrollment in honor of Beltane, which is in a few days. But here's the thing. I would absolutely love, love, love for you to get on my wait list. The link is in the comments, because then I'm going to send you my class, a free class on creating abundance. Who doesn't want that? But more importantly, you'll be alerted to when the doors for enrollment open. I only open them a few times a year. In full transparency, I've opened them more in the last few months because of what we've been going through. I really felt that the women needed that connection to keep them sane, keep them thriving, keeping their mindset good, and keeping them focused on the magic that exists, even through bullshit like we've been through. This has been hard on everybody. So I wanted women who really needed, like, we're sheltering in place with who? Our family usually. And those are the biggest triggers we have in our life. The people who are closest to us are the biggest triggers. So I very intentionally have opened the doors a couple of times since the pandemic, came upon us. So Beltane, the window will be open 48 hours. That's it, in, out. And those women who feel called to join us will come in, but join that wait list, because you get first dibs at it. And I always honestly give, just, I love my wait list, gal. So definitely jump on there. It'll be worth your while. And Michelle, thank you for that. Michelle said, for any ladies who haven't joined the sisterhood yet, you shouldn't wait. Come join. You won't be sorry. And I am so happy you feel that way, Michelle. I love that you're in the sisterhood. And thank you for that shout out. I truly appreciate it. So ladies, yeah, definitely. But for just for fun, download that class on creating abundance, because I want you to know what I know, so that you could be creating your goddess lifestyle, whatever that looks like for you, because it's different for every woman. But I will tell you this, I will get you there if you just come a little closer. Come on this magical journey with me, and I will get you there. I will help get you there. It's like having Lisa 24/7. I mean, I ask my husband all the time, who wouldn't want Lisa 24/7, right? Nah, I'm just kidding, just joking. But anyway, grab that class. The link is in the description, and I hope to see you in the sisterhood when it opens. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Ritual versus habitual. Come on. We've got to definitely get rid of that lower vibe stuff and call in that high vibe, spiritual, magical stuff that makes life feel so juicy. Okay. I'll see you soon. Bye.